We've got Kristen and Scott with us over here, and they are Merge coaches. Welcome, you guys, to Pathway Live.
Thank you.
Well, you're welcome.
Happy to be here.
Great to be here, I know. Hey, listen, Merge, when you hear the term merge, a lot of times you think of you're driving and you see a sign that says merge. What is merge when it comes to pre-marriage counseling or pre-marriage preparation? And you guys kind of share a little bit about what is that term and what does it mean?
Sure. So, Merge is a 9-week class here offered at Pathway for kind of couples walking into the season of marriage together. It follows a similar curriculum to what the the married couples go through in their Reengage program. And it's a group environment. As the hosts, Scott and I kind of just walk you through different topics of conversation that we think are kind of essential to have as a married couple. Things like communication, family relationships, intimacy, finances, all kind of things that couples need to be on the same page with. And it also allows you to kind of put Christ at the center of those conversations and foundation for your marriage as you step towards your wedding day.
What do you think, Scott?
I think
covered
she answered that very well. I would not add anything to it.
Okay, well, good. Well, maybe people are watching today and they're not going to have a Pathway marriage. Are they allowed to be able to come to Pathways Merge? And how do they join you?
Well, Merge is for anybody. You don't have to be a Pathway member. You don't have to have a Pathway pastor presiding over your marriage. This is something that Pathway is offering to everybody because at Pathway, it's been impressed that marriage is key to starting that relationship with your family, with God. And it's also very unique in that it's for everybody. Whether you're young, you're old, this is your first marriage, your third marriage, you have kids you're bringing from a previous marriage into it. It's a very practical approach to the topics that Kristen mentioned. I mean, it's just, there's so much real world knowledge that's behind all this that it gives you a really, really strong foundation to have the conversations that are going to be impactful throughout your entire life as a married couple.
Yeah, that's great. And Kristen, you mentioned something, or Scott, you did about either you do the work, now?
Right.
Or you do the work later when it comes to that.
Scott and I went through the Reengage program as a married couple, and the couple who were leading us through our Reengage class kind of said something of, you're either going to do the work now or you're going to do the work on a couch later with a counselor. But either way, marriage is work. It's hard, constant communication. And so kind of having that check-in and being able to have those conversations, it really helps.
What have you guys seen it do? What has Merge done in your own marriage? And what are some things you've seen the Lord do in the marriages of those you've been able to coach? I think what I really love about Merge and what you touched on a little bit was at Pathway, we want to make sure that you have the best possible marriage. So whether that's pre-marriage, that you come into Merge, or post-marriage with Reengage as well, our goal is to make sure that you understand what a happy and holy marriage looks like and to have the best possible start that you can have. So share just a little bit about some of the things you've seen the Lord do in the lives of those that you've been able to come alongside of.
Well, I think for me, one of the most impressive things is it's a very well-written book that we follow, and the resource forces you, if you're taking it seriously, if you're there for the right reasons, it forces you to have these really deep conversations. And so to see young people come in and have these mature, godly conversations about money, about intimacy, about children, about family dynamics, and to have these, it's so honest. It's almost surprising to see because we live in a world where everything's face value. And so Merge lets you get under the skin, and I've seen a lot of our couples really dive into that. And it shows because we've run into a couple of them now after they've been married, and they tell us things like, oh yeah, we have regular conversations because of the precedent set by Merge to talk about the things that are important in our marriage.
Well, and we our last session we made almost all the way through before COVID hit in March. And so those couples that we walked through that last session of Merge with were all able to get their weddings planned and done different than how they expected it in the first place. But through, the challenges that we've had this year, hoping that the conversations that we were able to have in Merge to start off the foundation of their marriage kind of on a rocky start with what's going on in the world allowed them kind of some tools in their tool belt to help deal with those hardships.
Yeah, that's great. Now you brought up COVID. You guys are meeting where, live? How do people get a chance to be able to come alongside and sign up for this?
Well, you can sign up on Pathway's website. I'm sure you can sign up through the app. I believe there's a phone number that you can text, which will help you get signed up. It kind of walks you through it. We will be meeting in person for the January session here at Pathway. We're going to have individual classrooms, so it'll just be our group by itself and another group off to the side. So the whole group aspect of it that used to be part is kind of gone away thanks to coronavirus. But the couples that will be meeting in our team, we will all be together. And I think having that camaraderie of walking through something together is very important because it helps people understand I'm not alone in being afraid. I'm not alone in having, issues with this particular topic or the way that my wife approaches this or the way that her family does that. So it really does kind of lend itself to just this organic conversation of healing and oneness.
Yeah, what do you think's the biggest hurdle? So people they're watching today and they're thinking, man, we really should do that. Is there like one hurdle that you really hear people, it's hard for them to be able just to get out to be able to do it? Or you're just going to say, man, take that leap. We want to be with you guys and help you through this.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely would say take the leap. It's worth it. Like Scott said, when you take it seriously, it really sparks some good conversations. I think it depends on your personality as well. For me, being a little bit more introverted, I can see how the group dynamic can be a little bit intimidating at first, and being willing to speak out and maybe share some concerns, afraid that people won't understand or won't relate, when in reality, in our experience, they do relate, and we do kind of have the same concerns and maybe doubts on certain topics that we need to talk through. And so it does give you that opportunity to see like the other people in your same situation are going through the same kind of thoughts that you are.
Yeah.
But it can be intimidating.
Closing thoughts, Scott?
I would just say that if you're thinking about getting married or you are engaged, Merge is something that can only benefit you.
Yeah.
By bringing God into the conversation and by forcing yourself to have the hard talks about some of these topics is only going to make your marriage stronger.
Yeah, great. Well, listen, it is so good to see you guys. So glad you guys came, had a chance to be able to talk about Merge. And if you want to be able to join Merge, we really encourage you to do that. Give it a shot. Take that leap. And I know you'll get a chance to be able to come together with other like-minded people who want to be able to have that best possible start to their marriage that they can have.